Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Me Paint and Chill. It's me, your boy, Wheeler, from the Wheeler's Minis. This is my channel. We're gonna, as the name suggests for today's stream, we're gonna be working with colors, because I haven't been using a lot of colors and things recently, and I want to change that. So we're gonna try and stay away from my normal color ranges, so trying to do my best not to do any blues or browns, and see where that takes us. I finished up the model from Tuesday yesterday, so I will be taking pictures of her at some point, post on the social medias and things like that. But before we get started today, a few quick things to get out of the way. One, if you aren't already following the channel, please do. If you've got the financial ability to, please consider subscribing. Don't forget that if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free once per month with the Twitch Prime subscription. I'd really appreciate it if that was me. If you'd like to financially support me other ways, you can do so by purchasing something off my website, wheelersminis.com. Follow me on all my socials at Wheelers Minis on pretty much everything. But yeah, other than that, that's it. So yeah, I printed off a couple things that kind of lend themselves to being painted colorfully, so to speak. Including this little rug shop owner. I've got this little character model of a little gardener, and then this dragonborn character. Who was excited to paint, but now I don't have any reasonable clue as to what color I want to do in, because originally I was going to do blue, but I think I want to go green. Again, ironically staying within my comfort range, and then there's a part of me that wanted to do metallic dragonborn, but I just think that it'd be more fun to do colors. But this one, this rug shop keeper, just seems like it's going to be easier. It's been a bit of a day today, so I'm just trying to take it slow, and not overwork myself. But I think we're going to do, for the rug itself, we're definitely going to do some coloring on that. And then for him, I want to also add some fun colors to his outfit. And I was thinking purples for his outfit to go along with his, what I'm going to do, black hair and darker skin tone. Let's see, purple is yellow complementary. Or if I do more red toned, a yellow green. And then just go crazy on the rug. Probably do like red or something. So yeah, that's the plan for today. He's got 3 parts of the outfit that I'm probably going to do in different colors just to make it look good. He's got the pants, obviously. He's got the wraps around the pants. Kind of a vest-like garment. A waist wrap. But yeah, just kind of preliminary mapping out what colors I want to use and how I want to use them. Maybe we'll put some oranges in there. Well, orange and blue are complementary. Could also do some teals. Some oranges. We are going to have to get at least some brown on here just because he's got some things on him, but I wanted to limit how much it was. I think to start, go with, you know, warm skin tone, and go dark. Some carnelian skin. It's a lot. Okay. Just because I know for sure what color his skin tone is going to be, we'll start with that for now. We're just starting with a shadow color. The deepest of the warm skin tone family, which is this carnelian skin, which is going to give us a nice red base. There's skin tone. My goal last time was to try and paint without any of the army painter paints. That is not my goal this time. I realize how much I like them and how much I use them. But right now we're just focusing on getting good coverage, good shadow tones. The problem is this brush is starting to split a little bit. I think that's on me, but yeah, sorry if I'm not talkative as much today. I'm sure there have been a lot of information out on the news right now about stuff that's been going on today. Just hits a little bit closer to home for me because I went to school there, and I was there the last time this happened. So, literally, like a little over 10 years ago, it happened while I was on campus. I'm lucky to have not known anyone who was affected by it personally. But even today, just the emotions of it all have kind of drained me a little bit. So, again, sorry if I am less talkative than usual. It is seemingly, as always, because our world sucks. Alright, so it's the skin tone. At least the base of it. This undershirt is going to match, so we'll probably match the undershirt to the pants, and then the vest and these parts right here to each other as well. Ironically, these are going to be not too close together, but close enough to where it's going to be noticeable. Just going to get these wraps on here. Started with a warm brown. Obviously, because he is dressed the way that he is, it is evocative of a specific culture. I'm gonna try and think about what colors would go well with that, but I'm leaning towards teal because I don't really use teal all that often. I think it would be a fun color to work with, and then maybe make the rug like purple. Let's see what's complementary of teal. Close enough to red. I use red all too often for fire and things, obviously. So right now what I'm doing is just getting some of this warm brown over these wraps to kind of set a base for them, because the pretty much the entirety of the model is going to in some way, shape, or form have warm tones attached to it. Obviously teal isn't necessarily a warm tone, but because of the evocation of this character, I wanted to at least get some there. Also, I will not be streaming on 420. Because I will be playing D&D that day, but I will be streaming on 422, and that will be high mini painting. And just for fun, I'll have the shoes match these pieces here. Actually, I have an orange leather that I really like that. used very often, but it's a good basis. Oh, this has a trim, so maybe I'll trim it with something different. And this model is by STL Miniatures as part of their, I think it's like literally called like rug or carpet salesman pack. They had a few options, but this one just seemed the most the easiest to put a color to. It's the one that kind of sparked my interest immediately in painting, so I always take that as a good sign. might trim this with like a yellow. Oh, we'll see. I'll definitely have to go over it again because the coverage with this is a scale 75 paint. Not that it's bad, it's just definitely more made for a 2 thin coats approach. Probably do some yellow on this when we get there. Good with the teal that I plan on doing. It'll also hopefully evoke the thought of gold. But we'll see. So the color is Orange Leather by Scale 75. And this is kind of what our base for the kind of warm toned, most likely orange is going to be on this. And then I'm going to do teal on the actual like shirt and things. And I'll start at the base of that. I guess if you're interested, I'm using a Da Vinci Miniature Maestro size 2 brush right now that I've been kind of high on recently. I've been using it a lot. I've been doing my best to take care of it. It's starting to kind of split, probably of my own fault, but it's been a really, really nice brush for me. Keeps the point relatively well. It's got good spring to it, so I would recommend trying it out. And then I've got some other brushes that I want to start working with too, but we'll get to those when this one starts to kind of like reach its natural end. I had to clean out my wet palette too. It's getting moldy. And for the trim around this, we're probably going to do a yellow, again, to hopefully evoke the thought of gold without having to paint actual gold on it, which would be very nice. It's going to look messy to start with. Hopefully it'll clean up as we get further in. There are some gold bits that I'll probably paint in gold as well, though, so. The sash will also probably do in yellow, but I'm going to do that more of a rich yellow instead of this kind of somewhat desaturated yellow. Like that piece is kept up while this is more of a piece of clothing that he wears often enough to where it's kind of desaturated a little bit, probably from being out in the sun. Got some good colors for that. Probably work with some ochres, mix with some yellows on it, but we'll see. All right. Then, do I want to go with teal or turquoise? This is gonna be more. More green. We want more blue, so maybe turquoise instead. Plus, I don't think I've used these since I've got them, so. It's been my goal to kind of start using my... I'm just gonna move her over, just in case she gets a little... Honestly, unfortunately, it is a really good spot for her. Yeah. All right. And this will be the want them to be bright and colorful. He's a salesman. He's got to look good. We're matching the honestly beautiful color. So we're gonna match the shirt and the pants. The deepest on the turquoise. This is deep azure. Other thing, we gotta switch out sun. Gotta print some stuff out too. Again, right now we're just getting the base coats down, making sure that he's got good color on him, got good coverage. And we'll start working on the light and things like that. Highlights. This will probably need a second coat because he's just not covering. Too watered down right now. Honestly, it's fine and not too hard of a fix. We're not being too careful in this step. We're just trying to do our best not to get paint in specific places. That way it makes it easier for us down the road. But if we need to come back over things because we accidentally put it on things that it's not supposed to be on, that is also okay. It is not the end of the world. We're gonna make mistakes. What we have to do to rectify them is a little bit of work. Same thing in life. Also being this turquoise color because part of me that feels like it might be too much of the color at the same time. Be what it needs. Actually, I think that's a perfect amount. Makes it look like a uniform, which is kind of what I was going for anyway, so. Now I'm just getting some more of this orange leather on here so I can clean up any of the mistakes that I made. Other color. Carefully applying it. I'll wait till that's dry before I work on it. I guess we can always shade it differently too, if it starts to feel like the color's just too much. Maybe we'll do like a gilded rope, but we'll start out with drab brown to kind of get the base tone for it. And then if we want, I can go back over and to gild it after I've done highlighting on it. I can just add some true metallic gold little stranding to it. I think that'll look good. Kind of fit the vibe we're going for with this guy. Drab brown is from Pro Acryl. This is the warm brown I was using. And then the Deep Azure is from Army Painter. And the orange leather is from Scale 75. All my paints. And then the carnelian skin is also from Army Painter. All right. A little more of that warm brown on here. Ironic that I said no blues, no browns. So far I've done brown toned colors and blue toned colors. Alright, now for his sash, we're going with orange on that. That we're getting close to red territory, so we want like a reddish orange. I don't want to go with yellow. I'm gonna go into the John Blanche one. I'm gonna start out with Sunburst Ochre. Ooh, that's way too much paint. That's fine. Do that way too often. Alright, so this is also from Army Painter, but this is from their Masterclass series, the John Blanche set. And kind of ironically, it is very close in tone to the orange leather. I want to start with a deep yellow tone on this. Even if it's close, I'll be able to differentiate it once I start to highlight it, because it'll go up to yellow. This other one will go up to orange. very similar in colors. Whoops. Well. Moment. Antithetical to me as a person because I hate those colors together, but this in yellow as well. Yellow trim around the rug. Luckily, it's very easy to do that if you just want to like treat it like an edge highlight. You can just go around with the top of your brush to get the color where you want it without getting it in places it's not supposed to be. Don't want to be careful, but especially since it's the first part that we're doing on here and we're going to be going around the rest of it with another color. Obviously, these are flying carpets. What else would he sell? Once we get all the base coat on, we can start highlighting and moving up the end values on pretty much everything, but we're making sure we get color everywhere that it needs to be. I'm just trying to be somewhat careful on it. See, the thing that's frustrating me is it's gotta look on the front. Like it has texture on the front, but there's no texture on the back, which means I'll have to look at rugs and see what they look like to get a better idea. Getting too wet. Now, just for the base coat on, we're gonna go. With that yellow, more of a blue toned purple. Although it's just a yellow, so maybe not. I want to do magenta or a true purple. The rest of it. we want a true purple. And for that more of a blue tone purple, more of a red tone purple. We're gonna go with magenta. That is more of a not. Oh. Don't really have a good purple tone. What's that? It's magenta. Let's maybe set up right purple. Oh, I've got. That is exactly the color. Hell yeah. And this one I haven't opened yet. This is Royal Purple from Pro Curl. It's part of the Vince Venturella Signature Series. It is exactly the color I'm looking for. And how that works. Royal Purple base tone for it. Redo it. Do that. Oh, gorgeous color. This is exactly the purple I wanted to. So right now we're just going to do the back in purple as well. If I get to that point where I need to highlight, I'll skip over it for now and do some research and see what the back of rugs look like. Because I know they tend to show some semblance of the design on them. This one doesn't have any of that design on the back. While I'm not above freehanding, I would prefer not to do it because I'm not very good at it at the current moment. But I guess it might be an opportunity to learn and get better. I really do like this. Got 3 different color tones of purple, and none of them were the tone that I wanted. One of them was too desaturated, one of them was too red, the other one was too blue. This one's just kind of a good balance between the two, while also being nice and deep. Texture on the model from the printing was a little frustrating. I felt like it printed pretty well overall. We can match that up with the way that we paint. All right. Back over this with a purple wash. Off between the two. We'll see. Yeah. And it's pretty much base coated on everything. Would do probably some satin black on his hair, but for now, I think I'm gonna leave it because that'll probably be one of the last things that I do. But yeah, and then we'll start working our way up. We're gonna mix some of that orange leather and the lowest orange together. First, I'm gonna go up in value on skin tone. Working that up. So tiger's eye skin is our next option. It's gonna start looking a little red. That's okay. I should have put that over by the skin tone. Now we're just gonna start highlighting and putting this kind of everywhere. You really want the only place you're really going to want the deepest skin tone is like in the true shadows. You're not going to actually like want it to be very present in the rest of it because it can kind of be distracting. So like the bottom underneath of this will stay that original skin tone. But I'm even gonna paint a little bit onto it because light is weird. You just don't want it to, if someone looks at it, you don't want it to look off. Skin tone, looking down a little bit into the shadows, not fully, and making sure all of our highlights connect. bottom part of it will definitely be a darker tone. It does have a little chin goatee, but for now I'm just going to leave it skin tone, and then I can go back over it just to make sure that I'm getting skin tone everywhere where it needs to be. Better at skin tones are not always the easiest thing to paint. And they're something you deal with on a pretty consistent basis. They tend to be a very hard thing to paint because of how skin tends to work with light. One down. We'll do a little bit more orange leather. Lava. Deepest of the oranges. Just to make sure we're not going too heavy in contrast right off the bat, we're just going to do a 50-50 mix of molten lava and that orange leather. That will be our first. Similar to the skin, this is kind of going to go everywhere. Obviously you want to be somewhat selective with it. You don't want it to completely encapsulate everything you painted before, because you do still want to keep some shadows. But because this is our first highlight, it's going to go more places than you think. I'm going with the idea that light's somewhat coming from everywhere. It's sacrilegious of me to paint with these colors, but wanted to be more colorful, so.
Terribly orange. Noodles behind you, they will be.
I'm gonna take a break here. We've got places to be. I love you. Thank you so much. Same thing here, only this is mostly going to get covered. There's not really any shadow parts. There's some shadow on this part though, so this is going to get mostly covered. Also in the wraps, which we're going to kind of do in a similar fashion to the rope. Let me take a break right here so I can eat my dinner, and then we'll jump back into it for the last 30 minutes or so. Nothing like some dry ramen. Well, as soon as she dries off, that's what our little road girl looks like. good food. Okay. Also, foods I might work on a little bit afterwards, just because they are a little sunk into other brown, and then start working up those. This one is going to be a bit of a stark contrast. That's okay. turquoise. And that is Hydra turquoise. And an idea, we're just starting to work on the lights. This one we're going to be a little bit more selective on because it's such a bright tone. We want a little bit of contrast on the clothing. Just going to be a little bit more selective about where this goes. Hopefully. Desired. But it's kind of the same idea. Just making sure it's going places that it's supposed to go. Not going in places it's not supposed to go. Again, because this is just a vibrant tone, it'll still look like it's highlighted in certain areas just because of how bright it is. You're finding that your highlights are having a weird time, or you're having a hard time kind of placing them and making them look good, try making sure that your brushstrokes are all the same way. That can tend to sometimes cause some weird looks on a model when your brushstrokes are all different ways. So trying to make sure that the highlights are all highlighted in a way that makes it look homogenized, like it's all part of the same model, is important. Just working on this. The light's important, but you want to remember that you want to you want to leave room for brighter highlights. Paint more than you think. Make sure that you're leaving room for your next era, like painting of highlights. If you don't, you're not gonna. It's gonna look very high in contrast, which like that's what you're going for. Be it. If you want to make sure that you get to use all the colors that you want, making sure that the highlights are properly placed and placed enough is a great way to do that. No matter what you're painting, you want to make sure you're always connecting your highlights. You don't want them to have any spaces where they look like they're an island or anything like that. Something that I was very bad at before that I started to realize is why I didn't like the way that I placed highlights. Because specifically on skin is where it's most noticeable. But your light is always going to connect in a way to something else. Just make sure that wherever your highlights are, they have a connected piece to the rest of the model to ensure that it's looking natural. So far, he's looking pretty good. Looking too off right now, which is a good sign. Alright, now we did that. Demigod Flames is up next. I think for now I'm just gonna work on him. Like the lucky thing about the rug is that it's not too connected to the model, so I'll be able to work on it later without feeling like I'm messing anything up on the rest of the model. Same idea. Again, the color in. This one I am going to be painting mostly over everything I've already done in the burst filter. I want this to more go the way of yellow, making sure that there are actual yellow tones in it, if that will help it look like that. But if you want to keep those shadows in there, again, just kind of work on this color in its topmost portion where the light's going to hit it. Obviously a lot of this is shaded, so we probably won't go above some of these tones for it. But if you want it to come across as a color and it's not doing that naturally with the color that you pick it with, just start to move up until it has kind of that tone that you're looking for. I think that's the thing that people tend to forget. You might want this to look a specific way. your creative influence is what makes it look better. I don't think you're painting something wrong just because you did something and you didn't like it and you're painting it something different. It's not wrong. It just means you actually know what you want. Fashion. Crazy. And remember, you want to use the mechanism for your next highlight. Rope. Sure. The transparent brown to kind of bring it back to that'll be really good. We have this one color. Straight up and up. And we'll add a bit. This is what I mean by leaving room for your next highlight. But I'm not printed. Those fashion that will help this actually give some contrast. You'll be able to see it that well. Kind of similarly, we're still gonna paint this in a covering fashion, No, a lot of this is covered with calico. And make sure that we leave room for our next plate. This will be one plate. It's going to be a final. Or something. Town Topaz skins up next. 10 minutes left. It's a good time. focusing on like making sure that we're hitting the parts of the skin that are up toward the light, in this case the sun, not leaving. So there can be some shadow just because of brow there, so that doesn't. Yeah. This is looking pretty good. A little bit of lighter weathering in with the lava to do his boots. It's gonna be a little leathered. I might actually go back over them when I take them off and do like ochre on them. Well, dish yellow. I'll probably get three so I can go get ready for bake with black. And this one, just making sure that we're starting to be a little bit more selective with where we this color. I want to make sure that it's got a good differentiation between it and the color, so not being too selective right now. Definitely starting to kind of hone in edges and making sure that shadows have good shadow and like have these little chains right here I will do in little back down. far I'm really enjoying painting this guy, so I'm gonna do this again next week. Although I'll be high, most likely, so maybe not. We'll see. Might turn off something fun for that, but oh wait, I'm doing that with my wife. So, well, that's gonna do it for me today. Again, I'm ending a little early, so I can go get ready for my date with my wife. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you stop by, I really appreciate it. Feel free to go check out my YouTube channel where all of this is free. I mean, it's free to be here too, but it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free to subscribe. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for me today and for this week. You guys have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. Tell the people that you love them. It's really important right now. But yeah, again, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you're safe and happy and doing whatever it is that brings you joy. But that'll do it for me tonight. So we'll see you next week for a high mini paint and chill on 422. Until then, go paint some more minis. Good night.